what we'll teach you right now is the strict press. When I say strict press, standing upright, knees are locked, barbells in hand, I press it overhead and I shrug. Bar finishes over midfoot at the top. Some people call it a military press, some people call it overhead press, some people call it strict press. We generally just call it the press. The reason I asked about the press 2.0 is, remember, we want to do these lifts in a way that uses as much muscle mass as possible. So what naturally happens when you go to press is your cranium's in the way. And so you kind of lean back a little bit, right? And so you press, you can kind of get around your head, and you're trying to keep it over your balance point, and as soon as it passes kind of your head, you're starting to bring the shoulders back forward and finish at the top. So one way to, since you're going to do that anyway, you watch anyone, even if they strict press, you know, they're going to lean back a little bit because it's just physics. Then is there another way that we can incorporate a little more muscle mass? And so we would do that through using our hips. So first, let me clarify, there's something called a push press, right? A push press is where I bend my knees, incorporate quadricep, get the bar, everything moving upward, and then finish under, or under the bar with the bar overhead. There's nothing wrong with a push press in human movement. If I had something I need to put high up in the garage or something, right? Get some momentum, throw it up. But when I'm training, I'm trying to do something that's reproducible every time, right? So we're teaching you how to squat. We're making sure you squat to depth. That way the variable next time you lift is what? More load, right? Or when you're first getting started, boom, add 5 pounds, add 5 pounds the next time, and that's the variable that changes. Problem with the push press is Jordan goes to push press 100 pounds. We're doing the press, we're trying to work the upper body, and he bends his knees that much. He does his 3 sets of 5, and it's hard. Next time I said, oh, you got 100, go to 105. He goes, you go 105, but instead of incorporating this much quad, he gets this much quad, right? He gets more muscle mass involved, boom, and he gets to 105. And then it goes to 110, what does he do? Even more muscle mass involved, he gets to 110. And so there's nothing wrong with that, except we're trying to build the upper body and the shoulders and all that muscle mass right now, not the quads. And why would I use the push press to build the quads when Jordan can push press 105 but he can squat 225, right? So I'm gonna load the quads way more when I squat and deadlift than when I push press. It has its uses for lockout, overhead strength, you know, a lockout position, but in general, we want to avoid that. So what I'll teach you today is something we call a press 2.0. Some people call it an Olympic press, standing upright, hips are tight, brace your abs like I taught you, and you're just going to throw your hips forward a little bit. The knees aren't going to bend, you're just going to throw the hips forward and they're going to bounce. What's going to happen is you're going to get a little bounce out of the bar. So it's boom, and the bar's going to want to bounce. It's going to want to bounce. And then you're going to kind of catch that bounce and initiate your press overhead, all right? Let's use you this time. First thing we'll do is we'll come over. Bar's going to be around the same height as your squat, about sternum height. And for his grip, you can see he already did it because he knows what he's doing. He grabbed the bar right at the edge of the knurling. So hands went flat on the bar right at the edge of the knurling. Open your palm. Come closer, guys, where you can see. And then he's going to tilt his thumb down. And what he's doing is he's putting the barbell down in the bottom of the palm. When I hold the bar, I don't want to hold it back in the fingers like this where my wrist is bent into a whole bunch of extension. I want the bar over the forearm because I'm going to be able to use more weight. So he's going to set up like that. Now, that means when he takes the bar out, he needs to squat it out. He needs to walk forward and get under it and then stand the bar up. Because if he didn't do that, in order to take it out, he'd have to jam his elbow up and bend his wrist. And then even though he set it up correctly, the bar's now back in the fingers. If you look at him, wrists are straight, they're neutral. There's a little bit of bend, but nothing crazy. Widen your stance a little bit, a little wider yet, like a little outside your shoulders. There you go. Elbows just in front of the bar. This position, which he did beautifully, if you guys have never done this, will struggle with big time, and I don't know why, but armpits are tight, your pecs are up, elbows are in front of the bar, wrists are straight. That's the position. Everything's locked out. Now press it up overhead and hold it out. At the top, elbows are locked, shoulders are shrugged. You can bring your head back just a little bit. Yep, nope, just look forward, just normal. There you go. Biceps are kind of in line with the ears. He did the old CrossFit, shove your head through the window thing. Not the worst thing in the world, but just a neutral head is fine. Everything's locked out and he's in balance. If I pull this bar back, watch his feet, he's gonna be, oh crap, right? He's gonna fall over backward. If I push it forward, he's gonna get uncomfortable. I wanna finish bone on bone, forearm and humerus locked out, traps up, shrugged up, and over midfoot. Go ahead and come down and relax. So even if I'm, go ahead and put it up. Even if I'm pressing 250 pounds, it's a dog fight, right? Once I get bone on bone, I'm not going to be able to stay here for a long time, 250 pounds, right? But I'm like, oh, relief. And that's how you can kind of know if you're finishing your press. I bring that up because a lot of people cut that short. They're like, oh, pretty close. Let me get into the next rep. So often when I teach it, if people have that problem, I say, hey, 1,000 between reps. So it's 1,000, and go again. All right. So now let's teach you the hips part, and then we'll put the two together. So stand just right there, a little bit wider stance than you want, hands on your hips like Superman. What he's gonna do is he's gonna brace his abs, he's gonna brace his quads, maybe get a little glute involved, get everything super tight, and then he's just gonna pop his hips forward without bending the knees. And what you're trying to do is get a stretch reflex out of the psoas, out of all this region. What we don't want to happen is the knees to bend. Go again. Good, go a little faster with your hips. There you go. See, when he went faster, the spring back was more natural. So what some people will do is they'll go boom, boom, marker. No, right? But no, we want to get a spring back out of it. Try it again. Okay, good. Now walk up to the bar. Come out, elbows underneath, stand up, step back. Good. And now don't press the bar, just throw the hips. Okay, good. Everyone watch this bar from the side, how it's going to want to kind of drop down near his neck. Right? There's a little wobble that happens there. So now this time, throw the hips, press the bar overhead. That's fine. Not too far forward with your head at the top. Just, yep, there you go. And again. Hips forward. Okay, good. Now, come down, relax for a second. Don't put it up yet. I want you guys to watch how he comes down. See the elbow position in the front right now? He's doing this beautifully. And if you all do it, then you're all experts. You can say I coached you before. But if you don't, I never met you. But I'm kidding. All right, so lock it out and hold it out at the top. Watch what he does here. When he comes down, he keeps his elbow in front of the bar. So he's in position. Now bring it down and put your elbow behind the bar. So go up at the top, and when you come down, so come down with it in front, behind the bar. Yeah, he can't even do it. He's so well trained, right? But a lot of you will do this. And with an empty bar, he can hold it. But it sucks even now because he's in this crappy leverage position. You want to be here, right? You want to be here. Elbows in front. So once you get to the top, elbows come in, and they finish in front. Go ahead and walk it forward and put it down. All right? If you're terrible, Steve, Jordan, Alex, Kelly, Ben. Yeah, if you're terrible at this, we'll just have you strict press. And you master the strict press, then when the strict press gets bad, you add in the press 2.0. So like, if you go to do it because you've never done this, you're like just don't die on this cross. This is just a method that you can use. At my gyms, I never teach this day one. I just teach you a strict press. And we build your strict press up until you fail. Hey man, now I'm gonna show you the 2.0. Because now you've already mastered the grip, elbows, lockout, and then we add that in. But we'll try it with you all today to go from there.